Today, we're diving into something huge. I mean, a really transformative shift in technology. We're talking about the idea that our everyday language, yep, the words you and I are using right now, is becoming the most powerful programming tool on the entire planet.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever had that light bulb moment? You know, a brilliant idea for a piece of software, a website, or an app, but you immediately hit a wall because you don't know how to code? You knew exactly what you wanted, if only you could just, well, say it.
Well, guess what? That wall is coming down. What sounded like pure science fiction just a couple of years ago is now becoming a very real thing for millions of people.
So what does a shift this big actually mean? Well, it signals the beginning of a whole new era, one that some people are even calling the end of code.
So what are we really talking about here? It's actually pretty simple. It means using plain old sentences to tell a computer what you want it to do. And the secret sauce, the thing that makes it all possible, is AI. It acts as this incredible interpreter, translating what we want into actions a machine can actually perform.
And the difference is just, wow, look at this. On the left, you've got the old way, this complex, confusing mess of symbols and syntax that, let's be honest, only a trained developer can really understand. But on the right, that's the new way, a simple, clear instruction. All that complexity is still there, but it's hidden. Your idea, your intent, that's all that matters now.
It really does seem like magic, doesn't it? But it's not. So let's pull back the curtain for a second and see how this actually works. How does a simple sentence get turned into a real, functional piece of software? Okay, the best way to get your head around this is to think of the AI as a universal translator. You just state your idea in your own language, and the AI instantly translates it into the dozens of languages a computer understands, whether that's Python or JavaScript or whatever it needs to build a website.
So how does that translation actually happen? Well, it's basically a 5-step process. First, you write your prompt. The AI then tokenizes it, which is just a fancy way of saying it breaks your sentence into little chunks or tokens. Then its neural network gets to work, processing those pieces to figure out the context and what you're trying to achieve. Once it gets it, boom, it generates the actual code. And finally, the system runs that code, and there's your result, from a thought in your head to a thing on your screen. Just like that. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how. Now for the really exciting part, what this all means for you. Because this isn't just some techie curiosity, this is basically a new creative superpower for everybody. Think about it. All of a sudden, a marketer can build a landing page just by describing what they want. A small business owner can ask for a sales graph and it just appears. You can automate the boring parts of your job just by telling your computer what to do. And maybe the biggest one, an entrepreneur can build a working prototype of their next big idea in a single afternoon instead of spending 6 months and a ton of money finding a developer. When you boil it all down, it's about one thing: access. The real goal here is the democratization of technology, taking the power to create and build out of the hands of a few specialists and putting it into the hands of, well, anyone with an idea. This could spark an explosion of new tools and apps for communities that were totally ignored before.
But, and this is a big but, like any powerful new tool, it's not perfect. It's really, really important that we go into this with our eyes wide open and understand the potential downsides. Because when you trade the tricky, complex world of code for the simplicity of English, you can actually introduce a whole new set of weird, unexpected problems. There are 4 big risks you got to know about. First is ambiguity. I mean, make a big button can mean a lot of different things. Second, hidden errors. Since you can't see the code, you can't see the bugs until it's too late. Third, AI models can hallucinate, and that means they can confidently spit out code that looks perfect but is totally broken. And finally, security. The AI might pull from old, insecure code, leaving your creation wide open to hackers, and you'd never even know it. So even with those risks, let's zoom back out. When you weigh the good against the bad, what's the ultimate impact of this shift? What kind of world are we actually building here? To put it simply, the fundamental barrier that's been there for 50 years, the one between a creative idea and actually making it real, is crumbling. The friction is just gone. The source material we're looking at really nails it. It says that when these technical barriers disappear, the number of people who can build and create doesn't just grow a little bit, it explodes. We're talking about a massive, unbelievable expansion of human creativity.
And that really leaves us with one final, fascinating question to chew on. In a world where anyone with a good idea has the power to build it, what does that future actually look like? What will we all create?